I went live for both those fights, leading up to the fight, during the fight. I made countless videos for Inoue Fulton. I made videos for Tapales Inoue. And the consensus in both those fights from everyone that watches these videos and everyone in boxing is that Inoue is going to beat the shit out of those two guys. And that's exactly what happened, right? So granted, they are the number one and number two guys at 122. But, like, if they're not really, like, considered to be at his level, then is he really fighter of the year? Same thing with Terence. Terence was the favorite against Earl. Okay, yeah, it was a big fight. Yeah, there was a lot of talk over the years, but he was the favorite against Earl. So for me personally, I like to give more credit to the guys that actually win the fights they're not supposed to win when the circumstances aren't in their favor. So for that reason, for that reason, do you want to know my fight of the year is? I haven't even told you this.
No, he doesn't.
Do you know who the real fight of the year is? Because it ain't Inoue, it ain't Crawford.
Holy shit!
And it ain't Devin Haney either.
No, tell me that Mexican just won.
All right, who?
The Mexican guy that just won.
Benavidez?
No,
it ain't him either.
No.
Who else? Who you think I'm gonna say?
I don't know. I can't say. I don't know. Tell me.
It ain't
Espinosa.
It's not Espinosa either. Do you know the fight of the year?
Dan Rodriguez.
It's not. I mean, that's a good shot, but
he had a great run too.
He had a good year, but wasn't fight of the year.
Wrong side. What he did was crazy too.
That was last year.
Okay.
You know the fight of the year was this year? The real fight of the year? Not the I'm gonna dick ride. Listen. Not the I want to dick ride and I want to put my favorite fighter as fight of the year. I'm talking the real fight of the year. Do you know who it is?
Immediate politics, or you just this is what you say?
This guy I'm about to say he's not gonna win. I'm gonna say right now he's not gonna win fight of the year. Ring Magazine's not gonna give it to him. ESPN's not gonna give it to him. But this guy should be fight of the year. Why? Because he actually won fights that he was not supposed to win. Y'all over here, on this live, I've already had people say that Fulton ain't shit, that Tapales ain't shit, and y'all want to give Inoue fighter of the year, but he's beating guys that ain't shit, right? So he's not fighter of the year. I'll tell you right now, the fighter of the year for me is O'Shaquie Foster. That's the real fighter of the year.
Holy shit.
The fighter of the year is O'Shaquie Foster.
He hasn't accomplished that, what they accomplished. The resume.
Listen. Fuck that shit. Listen, O'Shaquie Foster is the fighter of the year because he was in 2 fights this year he was not supposed to win. He fought Ray Vargas, who was a 3-division champion, who moved up to try to beat him because he thought it was easy pickings. Yeah. O'Shaquie boxed him around the ring. He boxed him around the ring easy, in hostile territory. Okay, easily.
So you're basically
that was early in the year. Won the title from him, right?
Yeah.
Then they brought him to Mexico to lose. He was the B-side fighter in Mexico against Rocky Hernandez.
Yeah.
And what did he do that fight? He knocked him the hell out.
So you're saying
he won 2 fights he wasn't supposed to win. He's a minus 2,000 favorite. You couldn't even make money off Inoue betting on him. You know, like if you would have bet on Inoue, like you could have bet a couple hundred on him and won like a couple $100 back, or whatever.
Yeah.
You still not making money because you gotta pay taxes on that shit. Okay, so you wouldn't even have made money.
You're basically saying you're giving him more credit because he wasn't the favorite to win his opponents.
Yes. If when a fighter who's in fights where he's either the underdog,
the B-side,
or where it's looked to be as a 50-50 fight, if he wins those fights, you got to give him more credit than the guy who was a minus 2,000 favorite at the sports book.
Wow.
I mean, come on. And then mind you, like, I'm not taking away from Inoue's win. I'm just telling y'all the truth.
Yeah, but
hold on. I'm just telling y'all the truth.
But
hold on. I'm just telling y'all the truth. Inoue fought in Japan both times.
Right. But the argument is going to be, what has O'Shaquie Foster
that done? Doesn't matter because it's fighter of the year, not fighter of the career, it's not the Hall of Fame. It's fighter of the year. So we're talking about 2023. And just for me, winning those fights against Ray Vargas and Eduardo Rocky Hernandez under those circumstances is more impressive than you beating Stephen Fulton, who apparently, according to Larry Liston, isn't that good. He's overrated. And Marlon Tapales, who apparently is not that great either for some of you guys. Yeah. So y'all can't do that. Y'all cannot have your cake and eat it too with me. You can't sit here and say Inoue is great, but his opponents suck. You can't do that with me. Yeah. I'm not hearing it. So, and then for Terence, we all know Earl, even at his best, was never going to beat Terence. Mm-hmm. And Earl, especially after, the car crash, definitely had no chance against Terence. Yeah. So to me, that wasn't even that crazy. I mean, it was fun to watch. I enjoyed it. It was satisfying, but I was more impressed with, even though, and I'm not like a massive, like I'm a bigger Inoue and Crawford fan than I am O'Shaquie, but I'm not a fanboy, and that's the difference. I like what he did more in those fights, and I don't feel like, because all I've been seeing from the boxing media on Twitter and social media is they say it's either Crawford or Inoue or Crawford.
Nothing about Shockey.
And what they're trying to do is they're trying to take the pound argument and blend it and bleed it right into the fighter of the year, and that's not how it's supposed to work. Fighter of the year is for guys who
underachieving.
No, not for underachieving. It's for guys who did things throughout the year. Inoue and Crawford, especially Inoue. Inoue was a massive favorite in both those fights at the sport book, and he fought in his hometown. So, and a lot of you guys don't even think the guys he beat were that great anyway. Yeah. So what are they getting the fighter of the year for if the guys he beat aren't that great?
So to go ahead and follow what you're saying, about O'Shaquie. So you expect bigger and more things from him now.
Yeah,
to be the same. To be the same level of these guys.
He's gonna get bigger fights now. I mean, he's fighting Abraham Novo on February 16th. Yeah. That's a good little fight. But I'm just saying, look, he wasn't supposed to when he fought Ray Vargas.
So he's a big underdog.
He basically. I don't know if he was underdog in that fight. But I just look. He fought in the Alamo Dome against a Mexican. Well, fighting in Texas against a Mexican is not easy. Yeah. Okay. He won his world title against a guy who was undefeated 3-division champion, trying to become a 4-division champion in Ray Vargas. A really good fighter. Then Rocky Hernandez. That was supposed to be Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn was supposed to have a Mexican champion. Yeah. That was supposed to be the coronation of Mexican champion. Yeah. And he was down on the scorecards and he came and he knocked his ass out. So he showed you in one fight that he could outbox a taller, technical boxer. And then he showed you he could out Mexican in Mexico to defend his belt. Yeah. So to me, that's fighter of the year. Not Devin Haney, who got beat up by a featherweight and got a get decision, and then fought, good win against previous program. I can't say anything bad about program. That was a great win, but he got to get against Loma. So my thing is, he won't. I know O'Shaquie won't get fighter of the year, but for me, that is fighter of the year. So
who you expect is gonna get one of these two guys right here?
It's gonna be one of these two. For
sure.
Yeah, it's for sure.
How about anybody else?
Nope. I mean, I could throw in Joseph Parker's name. I thought Joseph Parker had 4 fights this year, and he fought the hardest puncher in heavyweight history and beat him easier than anybody's ever beaten him. Because unlike Fury, he didn't need to do it in 2 fights. He got it right the first time.
You know what the argument is with that? They're gonna tell you Waldo was rusty. That's why he beat him. That's the argument the fans.
That's a personal choice.
I'm just throwing.
That's a personal choice.
I disagree. I'm just telling you what they're gonna say.
I don't give a damn.
He beat.
That's not. They weren't saying that. They weren't saying that shit before the fight started. No. All I heard all week was that Wilder was gonna ram his right hand down Joseph Parker's throat and knock him out. And it's the road. It's the road to AJ versus Fury or AJ versus Wilder. They weren't saying none of that shit before the fight. So if he wasn't saying that before the fight, don't say that.
And I was saying all that line. I know who could beat.
Larry Liston says so many of these American fighters are actually overrated because they fight with hometown benefits. Elijah Pierce ain't one of them. And you know what? I want to speak out against this, right? Because there's a lot of I've noticed this a lot recently. Now, look, I'll be the first one to tell you guys. I've said it on the live, and I've argued people on here that as a whole, American boxing ain't as great as it used to be. That's just the truth. We're not really doing much. We don't have no real heavyweights. We don't got many cruiserweights. We don't got no light heavyweight. Like we're not great as a whole. I'm the first one to say that. But I also do notice that recently it does seem like there's an anti-American agenda in boxing. Like whenever,
seriously?
Yeah, whenever I seem to mention a good American contender, there's a bit more hostility that's met. Like for example, if I would have said Elijah Pierce fight Kevin Gonzalez, they would have said, yeah, that's a good fight. But now that I'm saying Elijah Pierce should fight Merge, I say, oh no, he don't deserve to fight. I was like, come on, man.
So you said that people got like what I'm looking for, an agenda for
Fulton was always overrated because he's American. This is what I'm talking about. Now, are there overrated American fighters like Earl Spence Jr.? Yes, there are. But Stephen Fulton is not overrated.
Nah, I can't say
Stephen
that.
Fulton,
he had 12.
Stephen Fulton only lost to Inoue. So my thing is, if you're gonna downplay Fulton, then Inoue ain't shit. If we're gonna start doing that now with Inoue opponents, then let's just start saying that Naoya Inoue ain't nothing. He's not good. He's just a basic Japanese fighter with a 1-2. How about that? Let's start saying that. Because if we're gonna do that, because in my eyes, you could say it's either Donaire or Fulton, but Fulton might be his best one. It's either Fulton or it's Donaire. Straight up, because Fulton was undefeated. He was at the top of his game. He was beating all these undefeated guys, and Inoue made him look like a nobody. But he's not a nobody. Let's get that right.
I like that statement again.
I will start praying for Lomachenko at 126. Hopefully the Lord hears me. Maybe BT can talk to Uncle Bob for us. You said the same shit about Fulton giving Naoya a problem, saying it was 50-50. Look how that turned out. I never said it was 50-50. If you can pull up the clip where I said it, in fact I vividly remember saying that the fight was a 60-40 fight in favor of Inoue. I gave Fulton his credit. And I never wrote him off because he's a fantastic fighter. And I believe that he had the capabilities to rise to the occasion. But Inoue ultimately showed his level on the night and showed how great he was. So no, I didn't say that same shit. And that's another thing I want to talk to some of you guys about. Because y'all keep trying to put words in my mouth. I never said it was 50-50 fight, but you know, I respect you being here. I respect
I like that
Inoue, and I like Napoleon Dynamite. In fact, the only reason I'm even acknowledging your comments is because
we have something with that.
That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite movies.
Screw that movie.
So, yeah.
Good comment though. Thank you.
He said you're trying to make every issue black and white. That's not how to debate at all.
Nobody's making that out.
What do you mean?
We're talking about Japanese and stuff. Larry, please.
This
is no you're coming. What are you talking about, black and white?
Overrated or overhyped doesn't mean he isn't good. It just means he's rated or hyped better than he actually is. Well, okay, then since he's overrated, then you tell me who at 122 when Inoue was planning to move up to the weight class, who was better than Stephen Fulton? Who was better than him? Because I'll tell you who it wasn't. It sure as hell wasn't punk ass Merjon who didn't want to fight nobody. It wasn't him. So please, in the comment section, you, Larry, and everyone else in the chat, please let me know. Please let me know if Stephen Fulton is overrated. Let me know who at 122 wasn't that Inoue could have fought when he moved up. Please, because
if this ain't a black and white thing, I don't like that comment you made, Larry. Isn't that he's telling you what the Japanese guy's doing? He's telling based on Fulton's record what he's doing, and you coming out with this other crazy shit.
No, but Larry, there's no debate. There's no debate, Larry. Stephen Fulton was the #1 guy at 122 when Inoue fought him. That's what's not for debate. That's
how he earned the fight.
That's how he got the fight.
He beat a champion in Leo, and he earned the fight. How can you say that?
And Brandon Figueroa. Don't forget him.
And Brandon, yeah. So what do you? I mean, please. I might not be the most expert boxer, but please.
He says that I need to learn the definition of words and come back at him. You need to know how to read rankings. If I need to learn the definition of words, then you need to know how the landscape of weight classes work. Because you're saying Stephen Fulton is overrated, right? He was the #1 guy at the weight class. So if he ain't shit, then it is what it is.
Anyways.
And Naoya Inoue didn't do anything. Then Naoya Inoue isn't fighter of the year. Okay, if Stephen Fulton is overrated, Inoue is not fighter of the year. He shouldn't be in the running for fighter of the year because he beat one guy in Tapalas who he was like a -2,000 favorite, and then he beat another guy who wasn't anything good at 122. So what did he really do? What are we celebrating for? Why am I even live? What are we even talking about?
Now we pray for you. Thank you for your comment. On to the next, brother. On to the next.
Come on, man.
Have a good time with that. On to the next. God bless.
Let me see.
Thank you for your comment.
I wouldn't say that. Where's all the popular white boxers in America? It's always the darkest skin when people talk about American boxing. Caleb Plant's not black. I mean, some people say he is, but he's white. But that's one. Caleb Plant, Joe Smith Jr. Who else? I know there's more. Mm-hmm. Jake Paul.
Yeah.
BT, be honest. Did you scream and rage when Inoue said he wants murder? Yes. If you were here on the live, I was losing.
Oh my God.
I was losing my mind because I'm like, no.
This guy held the belt for how long? Merjon, when he had it?
Listen.
He milked that.
Only way, listen, I saw a tweet earlier. I forgot who it was from, but I'm going to quote this tweet that I saw earlier. Someone said the only way that they would accept Inoue fighting Merjon or Casemiro is if he fights them both on the same night. If Inoue fights both of them on the same night, that's cool. But other than that, I'm good on Merjon. Ask Pops, who is his favorite fight? So he wants to know from you, who was your favorite fighter when you first started watching boxing? Before we move on to more Inoue.
My favorite fighter before I started watching boxing, I was a big Marvin Hagler fan.
Yeah.
I grew up in Massachusetts, so for me it was the era of Leonard. That's when I really got into Leonard, Hagler, Tommy Hearns, and Roberto Duran. Yeah.
Brendan Smith wants to know, why am I in love with Terence Crawford? We'll see. Yeah, and see, my man New Kai understands there is a little bit of a crossover with fighter of the year and pound for pound. Yeah, exactly. So
you're saying separate them, basically what you're saying.
Yeah, they're not separating them.
Yeah,
they're saying, well, basically, no, pound for pound #1 is fight. No, that's not how it works. Mm-hmm. That is not how it works.
Brendan wants some clarification.
I want to clarify it for you guys. Yeah. And I'm not even like I said, I'm no Oshaki Foster fan, but like check my archive. I don't got like a million Oshaki Foster videos, but to me, what he did supersedes what those guys did in fights they were supposed to win. Let's remember, Fulton only became trash post-fight because many are picking Fulton going in first, going up. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. All I've heard about Stephen Fulton since he lost in a way is that he sucks, that he's not good. But I remember a lot of people picking him, and he was the #1 guy. He could have been the clear-cut #1 guy, but like I'm gonna say, anytime this guy's name comes up, Merjon didn't want no smoke.
He gonna want from no one either. Don't give him no belt. Don't give him a chance.
Let me see. I'd rather have Ken Shiro or Lee Wood. Yeah. I mean, Ken Shiro, that's a biased pick. If I pick Ken Shiro, I'm just being biased.
because it's only original poster from Japan.
Yeah. Inoue is not the fight of the year because There's more in 122. Goodman, Neary, no, he has a case. Like if you're picking Inoue for fight of the year, your case is that he went to 122. He won undisputed. He beat the number 1, number 2 guy back to back. That's your argument. There is no other argument you can make, because if you're picking him for fight of the year based on because he was a big favorite in both fights, so you're not picking it because it was some sort of 50-50 fight, or you're not picking him because he was against all odds fighting a guy that was no.
Yeah.
Let me see. Shout out to QC, says, what's happening to BT and Pop? Hope you fellas are good. Talking pound for pound. How the hell is Tank top 10 in some people's rankings? I don't know. Different strokes for different folks.
His name's not Tank anymore. It's Ordelami.
Oh, man.
Excuse me.
God
bless the Tank. He's right, though, what he's saying, because Tank hasn't really had fought like that.
Every single one that BT hates is the darker skin. What are you talking about?
Brother. He's laughing, teasing you.
I don't know.
He just teasing you. Don't pay no mind. I know, just laughing.
I wouldn't. Let me see. Anyway, yeah. Let me see. He says Vaquero Navarrete. Nah, I can't. I mean, he's a good fighter. I can't really pick him either, because I thought he lost to Robinson Consensao. I thought he lost to him.
Didn't he get offered the fight Stevenson and he didn't fight him? Or he turned it down?
Mm-hmm.
Then he turned it down? Navarrete?
Yeah.
He turned that fight down before the last fight that Stevenson had. So
can you be fight of the year just one fight? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Plenty of guys won fight of the year just one fight. Marvin Hagler won fighter of the year. There are years where he won fight of the year with one fight. It's happened plenty of times before. I just don't think that this year is one of those years. Crawford won. Terrence, you ask Terrence. Terrence pretty much thinks that we, the boxing public, have to kiss his ass for the rest of the time because he beat Errol Spence. That's what he thinks. But I'm here to tell Terrence that not everybody thought that Errol Spence and you were the two best welterweights. There are some people that thought that Jaron Ennis was better than Errol Spence before the fight.
And neither one fought him, right?
Neither one of them fought him. Let me see. Where is it? I saw one comment I wanted to get to. My man Raider. Shout out to Raider. You haven't seen him in a minute. He says, BT, it's about effing time. Makes sense. Now, before I get to the next year comment, Raider, I make sense. I make sense. I make sense all the time. You just don't agree with it. But he said,
yeah,
we don't usually agree, but Inoue is fight of the year and number 1 pound for pound. Crawford won fight of 1 year. Inoue beat 3 champions and went 2-time undisputed from. Yeah, okay.
Wow.
And I'm not mad at that.
Facts.
That's facts.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Inoue and Crawford are not fighter of the year for me. So Shockey Foster, that's the fighter of the year for me. But I know that's not what's gonna happen, because if they put Shockey Foster on the Ring magazine, that's not gonna sell as many magazines as Crawford or Inoue being on the magazine. So they got to do its best of business.
But he's coming. Shockey's coming.